So, my computer just straight up blue screened. And when I was trying to get the computer to start working again, of course Windows was like, would you like to upgrade to Windows 11? I assume this is going to start happening more and more now as Microsoft purposefully starts bricking your computer so you'll be forced to install their latest fucking spyware. How much progress did you lose? I wasn't doing much in the first place, so I don't think much. I don't think I lost any real progress. I have it set so shit saves and gets backed up like every 3 minutes or so, I think. So it should be fine. How many of you guys have actually installed Windows 11? Is it usable at this point? I was actually thinking of installing Windows 11 at an earlier point, and I was looking at like the kind of features it actually had, and when people said that you couldn't even customize your fucking like taskbar, I was like, fuck this. This thing isn't even like ready to be rolled out as like a beta, and they're like, you have to change it now. Don't. It's horseshit. Wow. I can't believe it. Who could have seen that one coming? It's fine. Just Mint or Manjaro. I don't want anybody in the future to be like, I know you're having problems with Windows 11, but you just need to install this version of whatever Linux distro. I can't fucking use your goddamn free operating system, okay? I don't have the technical skill for that shit. Please stop recommending it. What happened? I just got a fun little blue screen, that's all. How will this affect LeBron's legacy? If there's anything we know about LeBron, it's that he's a fucking worthless hack who probably can't install Windows 11 on his own, so negatively. I guess Skip Bayless was right after all. LeBron is an all-time choker who can't run Windows locally, and probably was going to subscribe to the mandatory monthly subscription service. I can't believe Cavs are nothing without Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I sort of can't believe how good Indiana is. Like, Cavs have a lot of injury problems and stuff, and Donovan Mitchell is trying his fucking best, but I think this might be more of a situation in which Indiana is just like way better than we thought they were, than the Cavs being shit. Sort of the opposite of the Celtics. That's definitely more of a situation of the Celtics being fucking trash instead of New York being incredibly good. Pacers been good. Yeah, I think it's very easy to overlook the Pacers because nobody gives a fuck about them, even in the slightest amount. So even if they're like, even if they go on a huge win streak, nobody wants to be like, "Hey guys, the Pacers are good," and everyone's like, "Nah, I don't care." I like to pretend they're not good. I mean, that's how I treat them. Like, I think everyone would just rather pretend that Indiana as a whole doesn't even exist, both in terms of a sports team and a state. Which is funny because you'd think they'd feel the same way about Ohio and Cleveland as well, but I think Indiana is on an even higher scale in terms of places that people give zero fucks about. I mean, remember how there was this whole long dialogue about how long a Cleveland sports team has won anything and shit like that, and how LeBron is a huge savior? I mean, when's the last time an Indiana sports team has won anything? I haven't heard anybody talk about how much Indiana fans have been suffering. I think it's just because nobody gives a fuck about Indiana. People could care less. Truly. Every time I think of Indiana, I mix it up with Illinois. That's a pretty big difference. Illinois has Chicago. Indiana has literally fucking nothing. It has corn. For some reason, it's supposed to be like a really important location in terms of basketball lore with like Hoosiers and Larry Bird and something. I don't know. James Naismith. I don't fucking know. But I have never met a single person who gives a fuck about Indiana. Colts won the Super Bowl in '07. I guess you're right. The fact that I can't remember that says a lot about how little I care about Indiana. I guess they have the Indianapolis 500 going on right now. I don't know. If you're a Peyton Manning simp, I don't know, man. Is Peyton Manning still associated with Indiana, though? He kind of had a nice post Indiana career as well, so. What is the fantasy equivalent of car guys? Horses, fantasy, creature, steeds, carriages. Is that what car guys are about? I feel like car guys are about wasting a lot of money on a non-essential item, which is should be more about a mode of transportation. Vroomers got a vroom. I watch like these financial help shows on YouTube as just background noise, and one of the consistencies behind these people that have $100,000 in debt, one thing that they often have common in is if they're a guy, they waste a shit ton of money on cars. Like, there's been multiple guys who have been like, yeah, I have a six-figure salary, but I'm in like $200,000 of debt, and like they actually go through why he's so deep in debt, and is like, I race cars. I bought this BMW for $50,000, and then I blew out its engine, so it's sitting in my garage doing nothing because I'm a fucking retard. People who treat expensive tools as toys, which is basically what you're doing when you race a car, are bound to get in trouble. The female version of that usually is like, I need to get my nails done or something every single week. At least car guys can make use of the fancy cars they get. The amount of weirdos who get expensive cars and have no idea how to drive them optimally is insane. I mean, that's pretty generous of you to assume that the quote-unquote car guys can drive them optimally. I mean, they obviously think they can drive them optimally. The truth is, driving optimally is driving slowly and being aware of all the local traffic rules. If you ask a car guy why his BMW got wrecked, he'll most likely be like, because there are retards around me were driving incorrectly when I was driving optimally. To which it's like, dude, if you weren't driving at 30 miles above the speed limit and somebody made like a weird right turn or something, maybe you could have been able to stop in time, dumb fuck. 95% of like car issues just come from people driving too fast, if you ask me. Everyone who's like, oh, I didn't know how to drive on snow. It's like, dude, just drive slower. That's it. I know this is very difficult for you to understand, you stupid motherfucker, but all you have to do is step on the accelerator 20% lighter than usual and just don't go fast. But, you know, that's asking too much from people. So instead, they'd rather fucking spin out and end up in a ditch most of the time. I love watching Caleb Hammer scream at idiots 3 times a week. Oh, so we have another person who watches Caleb Hammer. I wasn't watching... That is who I mean when I say I watch financial help shows. I was actually watching him like way before he hit 1 million and got popular. He got in my recommendations pretty early. And I stopped watching for a while, but I've noticed that it's actually really... It's good background noise when I'm drawing. The general animosity and anger that comes from Caleb Hammer help shows. It kind of motivates me to draw harder. Hipster Bud, yes. Anything that was cool, I was into it before you were in it. And if I wasn't into it early, it's probably because it wasn't cool. That's just how it is, guys. I'm sorry I'm so much cooler than you. It's particularly stupid for me to be like, I was into that early, because the only reason I was into it early was because YouTube recommended it to me early. So it's not like I was out there discovering shit on my own. It's just YouTube being like, you should watch this. I'm like, okay. Thank you, Mr. Algorithm. Let me just gobble up your fucking semen as you jam your big YouTube algorithm cock inside my throat. What about drifters? Yes, enjoy using up 90% of your tires, your $500 set of tires in like 5 seconds as you drift. Everyone wants to like be a fucking race car driver, ignoring the fact that race car drivers have to go through like 3 sets of tires per race. It's all very stupid. Using your car like a fun little toy is something that you can only do if you're like a literal multi-millionaire, guys. It's not for you peasants. I drift cars for fun. Just don't do it around me. Like, I was reading up on Initial D and how the author came up for the idea of Initial D based on his, like, youth experiences locally when people would actually drift, and how the main character of Initial D is based off an actual guy. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And they were like, what is he doing now? It's like, he's not driving anymore. He got in an accident, probably drifting. And I was like, LMAO, see, this is what happens when you fucking try and mix our ideas of how fiction should work with like reality, is that you fucking get yourself injured or killed because you're gonna fucking crash your car. You basically become Paul Walker wrapped around a fucking telephone pole. I know none of us want to actually look at reality and be like, Paul Walker died because he was in a car with another guy who thought that going too fast, too furious was like cool. In some ways, I think like driving video games and driving movies are like way worse than like shooting guns and stuff. Because like nobody is like, I own all these guns, but I'm only going to use them to shoot the bad terrorists when they invade my house. Like none of those people are actually going to start going out and trying to murder terrorists like the fucking Punisher or something on their own. But people who own cars are actually going to be like, I'm such a good driver. I can definitely do this shit without crashing my car, and then they can't, and they fucking get owned. And they might possibly, like, run over a bunch of kids in the process, so... I think in many ways it's way worse than just guns. Paul Walker was a skill issue, to be honest. I mean, he wasn't the one who was driving, so it's not really his fault. But yeah, it is a skill issue. But that's the thing. All of these car owners think that they're fucking hot shit. That they don't have skill issues. And then when they find out that they do have a skill issue, they're fucking dead. And that's just the car owners. The real like true leaders in this category are the motorcycle owners. Motorcycle owners are like, I'm so fucking badass, and then they get splattered across the pavement. Motorcycles are a death sentence. It's not if, it's when. But look how badass I am in my leathers. I can just smell the female love juices pouring out as the women see my hot body driving my, what is it? My Kawasaki Ninja at 500 miles per hour. I mean, I was talking about how cars are a huge waste of money if you want to drive fast, but that's actually the good part about motorcycles is if all you want to do is go super fast, like that's a good way to do it on a budget, because like you can get the equivalent of a $100,000 sports car in terms of like output and speed and shit like that with like a $30,000 motorcycle, right? So It's just that you're accelerating the timeline in which you fucking die. I stopped riding, LMAO. I don't like driving fast, I just like pulling G's in tandem, drifting with friends. I'm sure you will not slide out and ram into your friend's car while tandem drifting. There's no way anything bad can happen in that situation, am I right, guys? Motorcycles have a lot less weight to drag around. I mean, I don't know. I remember there was like some sort of Honda motorcycle review, and it was like $30,000 for the Honda. Probably Honda's strangest motorcycle. I guess flagship gives you the most expensive. I don't know. I'm looking at prices of like $9,000 right now for like a Honda CBR.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the first ride and review of this 2025 Honda CBR 650R. This is a platform I've been interested in for several years. I actually owned a CB 650R all the way back in 2019.
This is like 9,000 bucks, and then all you have to worry about is just dying.
This is newly updated, new CBR 1000 at this point. The power figure, the engine configuration.
CBR is one of the nicest sports bikes you can get.
Just much more of a intermediate level bike. And the interesting thing is Honda will not sell this motorcycle in North America without the e-clutch added onto it. So you have to get the e-clutch with this machine.
See, this looks fun as long as I don't think about the possibility of getting hit from behind by a car and then falling into the opposing lane and get run over by 3 oncoming traffic cars. See? Look at this shit. This is what I'm talking about. There's no way that people who do shit like that will ever get in any sort of dangerous situation. Am I right, fellow motorcycle riders?
Now touching the clutch, you guys see the gear position indicator down into third, and that's pretty cool. Now, a caveat to that, although you can bypass the system, you can do all your other stuff, this is a cable-actuated throttle. So
I wish I was like fucking immortal like Wolverine and stuff, then I could do these high risk taking hobbies without having to worry about, you know, killing myself. That would be fun.
If I go on the brakes and then I go down into third,
motorcycle drivers are someone else's one bad day away from death, or just someone not, you know, paying attention. I guess that still counts as a bad day if you fucking kill a motorcycle rider. Sits in the sidecar. Aren't sidecars like even more dangerous than the actual motorcycle? That's what I've been told. Free climbing parkour. I met one of my old friends from high school, and during dinner as we were, I guess, catching up, she just started immediately talking about how hard it's been for her because one of her best friends died during a tragic uh, climbing accident. And I was just like, why are you telling me this? I don't even know who you're fucking talking about. That's pretty awkward. It's like, I don't care about how your gay best friend decided he wanted to go climbing in a rock canyon and both of his fail-safe ropes broke and he fell to his death. I didn't say that to her, but... Was this the one who hooks up with girls? This is the one who, unironically was telling me that female sports players could beat male sports players. And the reason why that doesn't happen is because the patriarchy is holding them back. And I was just like, oh no. The feminism disease has gotten worse. It's truly affecting her brain. I had to explain to her, no, female sports players cannot beat male, like, professional sports players. And she was like, yes, but the reason why that is the case is because they're not casting a wide enough net to find female talent. And I'm like, no. But, yeah. Feminism, if left unchecked, can really disassociate people from reality. So you need someone to really just, like, pump the brakes on these things. Some can maybe do it, but hardly normal. It depends on the sport, but in general, a professional female sports player in that sport is the equivalent of, like, a high school or sometimes upper middle school level male in that sport. We know this because the female sports teams, like the soccer team and stuff, when they train, they play the male teams, and then they'll often play like the high school under 23 squad, and they'll usually lose. I don't know if they'll usually lose, but they lose often enough that it's as soon as men start to hit puberty, it starts to become an uphill battle. There's a few exceptions to this in, like, depending on the sport, like ultra distance, hyper endurance stuff. So like 100 miles and more, endurance running and shit like that. That has relatively equal performance between men and women. And then shit that is, like, I guess just like muscle memory based. Like, there was a female bowling champion a few years back. You'd think that there would be more female bowling champions, but who the fuck wants to be a bowler in the first place, so... There are no hidden or unknown women who are faster or stronger who are hiding somewhere. China would probably have found them by now. Yes, and in most cases when there's a hidden woman who is super fast and strong, it turns out because she has, like, internalized testicles that are pumping her full of testosterone. LeBron is scared of Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner, see, basketball, I don't know why female basketball is so popular, because in my opinion, basketball is one of the most obvious sports in terms of, like, when you watch it, the difference in athleticism, because it has so much, like, vertical movement and jumping and shit. Like, I feel like soccer it's way less noticeable, the difference in the male and female physical abilities. So I don't know why basketball is sort of like the most prominent of the female sports in terms of, like, what people are choosing to do. Also, the WNBA is not profitable every single fucking year. I was sure that it was going to be profitable finally this year because they had Caitlin Clark, and I was like, wow, surely this is the year in which people give a fuck about the WNBA, right? And it's not, so I don't know what to tell you. For whatever reason, America doesn't want women getting CTE. I don't understand why. Talk about lack of equal opportunity. Don't worry, even if you have crippling CTE, as long as your ovaries still work, you can still do your job as a mother and giving birth to more children. That's what our Republican representatives would say. Women can pull more G's than men on average, but that's technically because women are shorter on average, lol. I mean, you mean like withstand more G's? So like in terms of fighter pilots and shit? What do you mean by pull more G's? Why do you care so much about pulling G's? You're the same person who was just talking about drifting, right? Why do you want to be like under gravitational forces so much? Like, why is this such an... I'm sure that you go to the fucking carnival and get in one of those things that they spin you around so it sticks you to the side of the outward part of the circle thing that's spinning, and you're like, this is it, bros! We're fucking doing it! We're pulling G's so hard! Oh, it's so good! I'm spinning! Let's go! LMAO, RFK take his family to swim in a toxic creek. I'm sure he'd agree CTE is no issue. I read that he had swam in the toxic creek, but I didn't know that he took his fucking family with him. That's hilarious. I like that he's not just like killing himself, he's also killing all of his loved ones as well. What is that guy? Why is it that... Was he swimming in the creek because he was just like, it's natural, so it's safe? These health nuts have, like, such a weird, like, line drawing of what they think is safe and what isn't safe, right? They're like, no, you can't use vaccines. They've only been tested for years and years in a huge sample size among millions of people. Instead, I will do this other thing that hasn't been tested at all. RFK swears the creek is safe, so it's safe. I mean, RFK is saying that we should only have all natural food dyes and stuff, right? So I assume his brain just is like, if it's quote-unquote natural, there's no way I can die from, like, a brain-eating amoeba parasite or some shit. Can someone notify these people that poisons exist naturally in nature? The funny thing is that because he's such a wacko, he isn't tied down by the profit-based food companies and stuff the way that other, you know, surgeon generals and shit were tied down in the past. So he's actually capable of making positive changes like banning Red 40 and all these fucking toxic food dyes. It's literally like the broken clock is right twice a day kind of situation. He can make all these changes that previous people weren't gonna make. But he's also fucking crazy. RFK wants to ban Uncrustables. Which is the best Uncrustable, guys? Is there more than one Uncrustable flavor? I was about to go down my politics rabbit hole, but Uncrustables is way more important. Uncrustables flavors. Uncrustables banned is at the top of the fucking searches. Grape, strawberry, raspberry, and honey. They also offer a chocolate-flavored hazelnut spread option. A limited edition peanut butter and mixed berry spread is also available. They also have a reduced sugar version for the pussies. Additionally, Uncrustables offer a peanut butter sandwich without jelly or spread. Imagine being like, I need to get my fucking Uncrustables for my peanut butter jelly fix, when instead you could just take out a fucking piece of bread and spread like actual peanut butter and actual jelly on it. Uncrustables banned. There is no indication that Uncrustables are currently banned. Fact check, post RFK JR ban Uncrustables is not true. It's from a parody account. No! It would be so funny. I've never had an Uncrustables. I just make a fucking sandwich, but people are mad. It's like, no, I can't spread the peanut butter on the bread. To be fair, if you're buying bread from like the Kroger grocery store aisle and you're getting like the Wonder Bread, it probably has just as much like poisonous chemicals in it to keep it quote unquote fresh than eating an Uncrustables. So unless you're actually like using real bread, which most of these people aren't, it's probably still pretty bad for you. It's only really diagnosed after death during an autopsy. Why do we care about what killed us in an autopsy? It's fine. We'll be dead by then. Don't worry about it. Uncrustables are just essentially the epitome of American laziness. I think there's actually better nominees for that, although I'm not immediately thinking of them. I mean, I feel like going to Chipotle to eat like beans and rice for $12 is a pretty good microcosm of how the American brain works. It's like, oh man, I sure want to pay like, how much is it? $5 for a bunch of black beans. Is there a lazier snack than Uncrustables? Don't you have to heat up the Uncrustables though? Because they're frozen? That already involves some sort of work. So you'd have to have like some sort of... I feel like it's actually more work than you think it is. The true laziness snack is something you can just eat out of the package. So people who are just eating protein bars all day. Is it like Soylent, the ultimate version of American laziness? People being like, I would rather drink this fucking soy replacement fluid. You don't even have to chew when you're drinking Soylent. I think Soylent is the ultimate version of this. Instead of eating a proper meal, I'll just drink this fucking bottle full of mystery liquid and call it a day. It will also give me flatulence and kill me. You know, when the guy was actually pitching Soylent and he was making the argument, like, people who are working are just gonna go to the fucking vending machine instead of eating something proper, so they may as well eat something that gives them proper nutrients and food and shit like that. I was like, you know, he's making a good point. But what happens instead is it's not really just like an emergency thing that you do once or twice. Now everybody, all these tech bros are like, I'm just going to survive on Soylent for the next 5 years. And surely there will be nothing bad for me because it has all the essential components that you need to keep you alive. And it's a really stupid fucking bad idea. I like heating up Red 40 on a spoon and injecting it. Make sure you get your Red 40 stockpile before it all gets banned and removed. Buy as much Red 40 as possible, guys. How else will you get your cancer? Oh wait, we have like 1 million carcinogens in our environment anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Personally, I just enjoy taking my lawn care products and mixing them in with my drinks for delicious poison-flavored. I like Uncrustables for a snack at the racetrack. You put them in the cooler frozen in the morning and they're thawed and ready to eat at lunchtime. Every single post you've made in this stream is about like either the G's or racing. You'd think that this is like a car stream or something, but it's instead somebody drawing images of women. This reminds me how the introduction of pre-cut bread made bread sales go through the roof in early 20th century. Holy shit, that's so fucking bad. I hope that's just an urban legend, but it sounds stupid enough that it's real. Were people really so fucking lazy that they wouldn't buy bread because they had to fucking cut it? Oh god. Every day, my faith in humanity wavers more. I talked about Japan before too. You can talk about Japanese racers, and then you'll have like the entire cycle. Go on the Japanese mountain road Toge and drift with the boys. You know, I was in Japan, and we were in like some really small local village, like some sort of local hot spring village, and you could see all the people in their like souped up ricer cars driving toward the mountains. I was like, holy shit, they really are doing the initial D thing. It's not fake at all. They're all gonna be delivering tofu. I actually went to Japan to go to a drift event. Nandato? My Dang Evo Lancer evolution is losing to just a Hachiroku? It's impossible. How can he be going so fast uphill? Pre-cut bread is in combination with the World Wars what popularized PB&J sandwiches. I heard that the reason why British food is so bad is because the Industrial Revolution annihilated their cooking traditions. But that doesn't act as an excuse for why it should still be bad in 2025, so I'm not giving them a pass on it. I don't care if it was all because they got fucked up, because they all had to work in horrible factories 24 hours a day. Britain still has shitty food. Hopefully if they just get enough Pakistani immigrants, they can just completely change the food culture to eating Indian food and stuff, so that will solve that issue. Also, they have all these Polish immigrants. That should also help as well. Polish sausage is good. You have to finesse cut bread or you'll crush it. I mean, what kind of bread are you talking about? Maybe if you're eating like shitty Wonder Bread. If you get like an actual large loaf of rye or something, you can just like put your entire body weight on it and it should be fine. Who are you banking on in the Pakistan-India derby? I can't even tell what kind of derby you're talking about. Wait, is India and Pakistan gonna play each other in crickets anytime soon? Like right after their almost nuclear warfare? Because that would be insane. Let me actually look this up. Cricket, India, Pakistan schedule. Seems like it might be next year. I don't know. I don't want to actually go into cricket shit. I was watching Evo Japan, and they were like, for the Tekken, they were like, we don't have any Pakistani players in this event because, you know, they're at nuclear war with India, and I was like, LMAO. This is Korea's opportunity to retake their crown as the fucking Tekken country. I'm not even gonna pretend that Japan has a possibility of winning. Tekken is a Korean game. Despite everything, Nii was in the finals, so how bad can it truly be? I think there were riots during World War II in England, so fish and chips was exempt from the rationing. Really use what they are used to when they fight for fish and potatoes. I mean, they're technically an island nation, so they should be eating a lot of fish, theoretically. I think when the English are like, no, fish and chips in England is good, that's like the most copest cope of all cope. It's like, yes, if you deep fry shit, it tastes good. I'm glad you figured that out. That's amazing. Such amazing culinary cuisine there you've got, England. Like, yeah, no shit, your fried food tastes good. Everything tastes good when it's fried, dumbass. Would you try fried breast milk? I already timed you out once, Constrictor. Don't make me time you out again. Anything deep fried turns palatable. Americans haven't gone so far as to fry whole butter sticks. So I ate a fried Oreo at a local state fair, and it tasted good for about 10 seconds, and after that, I was like, I have made a horrible mistake. I should not have done this. So, yeah, deep frying everything might not be the best way to handle things, but yeah. Basically what our brain registers as tasty is just sugar, fat, and salt. So having those two things in your deep fried food, that alone just makes it taste good. The challenge is making food that tastes good that isn't covered in salt and deep fried and has a shit ton of sugar on it. This is why Japanese cuisine is considered to be like extremely advanced, because they're all about their fucking umami and eating a piece of fish in vinegar and shit like that. It's like, tasty raw fish, baby. That's because our taste buds are made for eating things that make us fat enough to survive the winter. Yeah, humans are built to get fat. We're not built to get skinny. As any American knows. We were born to be obese, baby. Let's fucking go. Have you seen deep fried ice cream? I know about its existence, but I've never tried it. Who has the peak human physique, in your opinion? Probably some OnlyFans lady with massive titties. I don't know. It's harder with guys because most of them who are supposed to have the peak physique are just, you know, on a shit ton of steroids, so... What about these, those skeleton-thin Kenyan marathon runners?
earlier this month, Eliud Kipchoge became the
Well, I see the giga skinny hyper speed like skeleton fucking body of these guys. It makes me so motivated to run faster. Notice how everybody has the same fucking massive foam shoes nowadays. Like, I know that people have been beating marathon times, but this is exactly the same as in the 2000s when Nike and stuff started producing those full body swimsuits that cut times by like 30 seconds or some shit like that, some crazy amount. It's just better tools. BB has unrealistic standards of beauty to regular anime and manga consumption. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting people to be hot. Also, when I go to Japan and I see normal Japanese bodies, I'm like, holy shit. Everybody is so attractive because it's the first time I've seen a non-obese person in many, many years. It's like, is that a woman that isn't 40 pounds overweight? I'm gonna come. Oh, that's how I react, so. I'm okay with... I think our standards for what is a normal body have been fucked up. Considering I am bordering on underweight, I would have fucking died in the Middle Ages. Don't worry, we'd all have died in the Middle Ages. We'd all be like, surely having these rats running around our food supply and carrying our fucking shit particles into our water supply will not have some sort of disastrous plague effect on us. We'll be fine. And then we all would fucking die, so it wouldn't be a problem one way or the other. I look crazy buying workout stuff at Walmart today. Walmart, the natural habitat of the obese person. Where you can ride around your little cart thing as if you're fucking disabled. I guess you are disabled if you have to use a cart to move. I mean, those people don't have to use a cart. There's little scooter shit. They don't have to use it, they just choose to. They'd be like, I'd rather look like a fucking idiot riding this tiny little scooter shit than have to deal with the physical pain of having to walk on my two legs for more than 30 seconds. Cultivating mass, Keikona. I wish as human beings we could be functional with a shit ton of fat on our bodies. That would be kind of base. Like, I often think about elephant seals as the ideal body type. Just massive 3-ton bodies full of blubber. When someone stabs you with a knife, it can't get through your thick folds of fat and puncture your organs. Bloat maxing isn't real. It is real. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You keep on pursuing your dreams and keep on bloat maxing. I mean, the sumo tournament is on right now, and that's literally just bloat maxing. One guy after another, they're all fucking bloat maxing. The scooters and cars are like half the reasons Americans get fat so easily. The other half is the diet. Americans don't exercise. They ride their trucks around everywhere, and then they also eat a shit ton of calories. I love sweet tea Kekona. What's the worst thing you can eat as an American if you truly want to bloat max? I mean, it might actually be Uncrustables, to be honest. What is in an Uncrustables? Uncrustables ingredients. Ingredients. One sandwich is 210 calories. It has 9% of your daily sodium value, 28 grams of sugar, 5 grams of protein. This is, I assume, is coming from the peanut butter. Enriched unbleached flour, water, unbleached whole wheat flour, sugar, yeast, soybean oil, salt dough conditioner, molasses, hydrogenated vegetable oils. This is something that RFK doesn't like, hydrogenated vegetable oils. Mono and diglycerides. Pectin, citric acid, potassium sorbate. It's not that bad. I got a package of ice steam sachets from a friend in Texas, and the instructions said put 2 cups of sugar for 2 liters. Are you sure 2 cups is enough? I don't know. That seems a little low there. I don't think it's even properly saturated. You have to keep on mixing in sugar until the solution is fully saturated and the sugar can't melt into the tea anymore, guys. That's the proper way to make it. Until your spoon is rubbing up against the sugar crystals, because the sugar can't even melt anymore. That's when you have the right amount of sugar, guys. Don't stop yet. Don't be a pussy. That heart failure restaurant? Yeah, but that's like eating out, though. I don't think it's really the same. You have to, to get the truly unhealthy experience, You have to do it at home. If someone from Texas ever said that something I make doesn't have enough sugar, I'll consider it a compliment. You have to, if you're making a Frappuccino, make sure you put in like 30 grams of sugar. How much do Starbucks Frappuccinos have? I know they're like actual like championship levels. Most sugar content. The Starbucks Frappuccino, thanks to the AI overview, with the most sugar content is the Cafe Vanilla Frappuccino and Pokemon Go Frappuccino, both containing 69 grams of sugar in a grande size. 69. Nice. Hey, if you're playing Pokemon Go, that means you're walking around, right? So you'll be able to burn off those 69 grams of sugar easily. It's not a big deal. Do you think Brando was more of a carb loader than Elvis? Yes. He was also more successful at Elvis than at carb loading because he lived to a relatively old age in a grossly obese state. There's a cool movie he did at the end of his life where he's basically playing the Godfather character. It's kind of a joke. It's a comedy movie. I can't remember what it was called, but he's running like a fake exotic pets restaurant where he's telling people that they eat like Komodo dragons and stuff like that. It features a live Komodo dragon or some kind of large monitor lizard. I can't remember what it was. But the movie ends with him walking the lizard around on a leash, and I was like, that's so awesome. But he's also grossly obese because nobody could tell him to stop eating. Elvis has a carbon trans fat saturated food named after him. Fat Elvis sandwich authentic. Videos. See, none of the videos are actually making the real Fat Elvis. They're all using like sliced bread. Here we go. Here's the actual Fat Elvis. Oh, it's on Instagram. I can't show it. No, it's not correct. You're supposed to use a cut out piece of a baguette, like a French bread. Everybody, when they make the Fat Elvis, they use like normal slices of bread, but you're supposed to have a fucking full-size French bread baguette, cut it out, put in the peanut butter, bananas, bacon, butter optional, honey optional. It's supposed to do like 2,000 or 3,000 calories for a full sandwich. Elvis also did a lot of drugs. Truly the greatest rock star of all time. That doesn't even sound good. What the fuck? Who we're talking about? We're talking about the Fat Elvis sandwich. That Elvis had invented specifically for him. You're supposed to cut out a full piece of French bread and then like fill it with peanut butter and bananas and bacon and like more butter. And I can't remember if it was deep fried or not. Don't like 10% of all heart attacks happen on the toilet? Huh. I guess these people don't get any exercise, so when they actually have to strain, then they fucking die. Feels good, man. That's how I want to go. Imagine Priscilla having to watch this Jabba the Hutt with black grease hair inhaling the food pyramid in one sitting. I don't know if he's inhaling the food pyramid. I don't think he's eating any vegetables there. So I think he's missing some of the food pyramid content. Especially drugged up people with heroin constipation because the strain when shitting stretches the heart. Uh-huh. So, once again, we're being told that we shouldn't use heroin. What a bunch of losers. Everybody knows that cool guys use drugs. Dare being like, please guys, stop using heroin. And local kids are like, haha, no. I like how the current drug is like all the teenagers using various forms of nicotine. There was a New York Times article about, I forgot what it was called, Z? It started with a Z or something. But it's like nicotine pouches that you literally put under your tongue or something. I was just like, god damn, people really just want to be addicted to the substance, don't they? Like, the whole moment when they started introducing vapes, and people were like, huh, well, I guess it's better than cigarettes. Surely this will not have any sort of disastrous effect on our society, guys. By having a socially acceptable, cool new way for children to consume nicotine. Now everyone's like, oh, don't worry, it's water vapor. Just water vapor, guys. Nothing says cool factor like a portable hookah that tastes like the vapor equivalent of a Build-A-Bear store. What's your favorite children's vape flavor, guys? Cotton candy, cookies and cream, creme brulee, bubble gum. Nothing says I'm a cool adult like inhaling candy scented water vapor. I don't even know if it's water vapor. It's like some kind of aerosol. I'm sure we're gonna find out like 10 years from now, or maybe even sooner, that like there's horrible health issues being caused by vaping. But people are like, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that. My general opinion is that pretty much any drug is going to have some kind of long-term side effects. And if the doctors are like, don't worry, there's no long-term side effects with using this unnatural substance every single fucking day, then it just means they haven't discovered the side effects yet. Remember when they were like, you should just take aspirin every day? And then they were like, no, wait. We're changing our mind on that. Maybe you shouldn't take aspirin every day. Like, what? Which is it? Surely all this Ozempic stuff that dramatically reduces our weight won't have any kind of unknown side effects that are going to fuck us up. Am I right, fellow fat people who don't want to actually go on a diet? Vaping has proven to be just as bad as for you as cigarettes. No, dude, it's just water vapor. It's literally just water vapor, guys. Why would you think that? It's just water. Water in the air. I always wonder how bad energy drinks will be, or coffee long term. Anything where if you get like too much of a concentrated dose, it will actually kill you. That's the same for both nicotine and coffee. It kind of makes you wonder why people are so encouraged to consume large amounts of it. Like bodybuilders who take the powdered caffeine because they want to work out harder. Like your heart can literally stop if you take the wrong dosage. But people are like, oh, it's fine. I just want to lift. The NHS suggests vaping is not better for you, or net better for you, but you have to smoke legitimately manufactured vapes, not the ones with vitamin E oil. Yeah, didn't the vitamin E oil literally, like, kill, like, 5 people? And people are like, oh, sorry about the mistake. I'll just go back to vaping the ones without vitamin E oil. Why did they even have vitamin E oil in the first place? Was it supposed to be, like, a positive? They're like, thanks to the vitamin E oil, I'm more healthy or some shit? This was like, what, 8 years ago? I can't remember how long ago it was when they had the vitamin E oil-based vaping mass death situation. I will now inhale boiling oil, LMAO. Surely nothing bad will happen here. If you drink enough Red Bull regularly, your blood will start getting gelatinous. But I'm a high-level performance athlete. I have to consume Red Bull. How else will I go skydiving or compete in this awesome motorsport that is being sponsored by Red Bull? They were using vitamin E oil to stretch out the existing oil with a cheaper ingredient, LMAO. It's literally basically just like the China gutter oil meme, except we're inhaling it instead of eating it, which is probably worse. Americans are like, ha ha ha, look at those fucking crazy Chinese peasants eating food that was cooked with, like, actual people scooping up oil from gutters and shit and reusing it. That will never happen in America. Now excuse me while I have to go vape. Doesn't Ozempic stuff remove body fat in unnatural ways so people end up looking like ghouls? People on Ozempic lose weight rapidly, so they often get Ozempic face. Oh, it's Ozempic? You know. There's already a Cleveland Clinic Health Essentials. They already have a fucking, So basically it makes you age like a zombie within a few days. It is true that fat people tend to look younger because their skin is all stretched out from the fat. So if you rapidly lose weight, suddenly you're going to just look like a zombie. Most of those Red Bulls given to athletes are just special water-filled cans since Red Bull tastes like ass. Are you saying that my favorite esports hero isn't drinking 10 cans of Red Bull every single day? No, that cannot be. Daigo would never lie to me. People want the easy way rather than just work for it? Yes. You have discovered the secret of the American capitalist society, is that people do not want to work out. See, I'm old enough for when I grew up with shit like Jenny Craig and shit. Or Slim Fast. You guys remember Slim Fast? I mean, we still have it, right? Just instead of eating proper food, replace your diet with... What is that? Like a milkshake? I don't know what Slim Fast is actually in Slim Fast. Just don't eat anything except this weird-ass chocolate milkshake shit. I know a diabetic person who had to go to the Ozempic and it seems miserable. It just makes you sick as hell. What percentage of people actually using Ozempic are actually diabetic at this point? I feel like what we have is, like, it was initially the diabetic people, of course, but now it's just like an endless string of people who want to lose weight without having to work out, being like, get the fuck out of the way, you fucking diabetic person. I'm taking all your Ozempic right now, bitch. I feel like that's where we are. There was like when there's a full South Park episode on the situation, you know we've reached peak Ozempic. They now have plenty of stock. Also, aren't there like generics of the same thing? I don't know. I've just been seeing like a bunch of New York Times shit where they're like, this is one of the greatest inventions of all time. When they talk about like Trump cutting funding to universities, they keep on talking about how university research is what helped us create these amazing miracle drugs and stuff. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're really pushing the whole we want you to be on these drugs angle pretty hard. They're also talking about how it reduces inflammation, so it's good for preventing Alzheimer's and stuff. I'm like, wow, look at all these positive benefits. I guess there's absolutely nothing negative from using Ozempic. I should get on it myself. Imagine that. Eating less shit makes people less inflamed. Oh, so wait. So Ozempic works by like affecting your like hunger receptors. Is that how that shit works? Is that how people are losing weight? I think we've had this discussion before. I keep on forgetting. Like it has effects on diabetes, but it also is just eat less. No, that's too hard. You don't understand how hard it is. It restricts hunger signals? Yeah, okay. Maybe if we just bully people enough, they'll all develop anorexia or some shit. Oh wait, we already tried that. That's how we were doing it in the 90s and it didn't really work. Some people just get so sick on it that they can't eat, so they lose weight even quicker. Problem solved. If you're too sick to literally eat anything, suddenly the diet becomes much easier. I mean, the real problem with all this, the real reason why all this shit happens, it goes back to the Uncrustables. It's because we have, like, professional food scientists designing American packaged food so that you're not actually satisfied by eating whatever amount you eat. Like, I've actually noticed this when I was eating more American food. Like, I could easily eat, like, a pint of Ben & Jerry's, which despite having like, you know, 500 grams of sugar in each pint. Like, it somehow didn't feel like it was fulfilling my need. And I started really noticing that there were very specific supermarket foods that, like, I would want to eat more and more of them. And those are because they actually have, like, food scientists in the lab grinding to make sure that by eating, like, one potato chip, you don't get the actual amount of salt you want. So that you're like, you want to eat like another one. And I noticed it was way more prominent in like the name brands than like the Kroger brands, because I don't think Kroger is paying their food scientists to properly micromanage that sort of lack of stimuli. No Ben & Jerry's slander. I'm telling you, man, Ben & Jerry's, I would really just like, I would go through a pint so easily. And then when I changed to Haagen-Dazs, apparently Haagen-Dazs isn't properly engineered the same way, so I can eat just like a spoonful of Haagen-Dazs and feel like I've gotten my sugar fix. But Ben and Jerry's, I was always like, I can eat some more. I need to eat some more, so I definitely stopped buying Ben and Jerry's because of that. Never been a salted dude myself. Don't really use it in everyday cooking. Good old garlic and pepper for me. I put pepper on literally everything, but I also need more salt because I sweat so much. I'm like one of the sweatiest human beings on the planet, so if I don't eat salt after I work out, I actually get these headaches because my body is lacking some of the chemicals it needs to properly send brain signals or something, I guess. So if I just rehydrate by drinking water after I work out, I will get these weird headache shit. I used to solve that by drinking Gatorade, but I realized I could just drink some salt water and it would have the same. And then I wouldn't be getting all this unnecessary sugar. Just drink soy sauce like it's on tap. Apparently, when Japanese people didn't want to get drafted during World War II, one thing they would try and do is they drink like an entire bottle of soy sauce, which would like incapacitate them from the salt overdose or something, so they wouldn't get drafted. I don't know if this is real or just an urban legend, but it sounds pretty effective. I'm pretty sure if you drank a full bottle of soy sauce, you'd be absolutely fucked, so... The fact that there's a thing with fat cells remembering the large state for years doesn't help. Maybe they just understand that you're at peak performance when you're 400 pounds. Your body knows what is the true peak performance body type. My chest hurts thinking about chugging soy sauce. Staple of Nippon cuisine. Literally everything in Japan is just some variation of soybean flavored. It's soy sauce flavored or miso flavored. That's basically it. They also have salt flavor, which is just salt flavor. Shio. It's the ramen flavors. You can get soy sauce, you can get miso, you can get tonkotsu, which is the pork bone flavor. And then you can get salt, which is mainly just the dashi umami stuff. Tonkotsu. Christ. Every time I talk to Death Striker, it sounds like I'm talking to like a 55-year-old Japanese salaryman. She's always like, pachinko, tonkotsu ramen, it's like, what the fuck? It sounds like I'm talking to a Japanese salaryman who is speed running his blood pressure or something. Next, you're gonna tell me that after you go drinking with your corporate buddies, i.e. mandatory drinking, you're going to go to the soap land and then waste more money at the pachinko parlor, and that you smoke mild sevens or something. I don't like tonkotsu standard soup. I used to like tonkotsu standard soup a lot when I was a kid. And then when I eat it in the year 2025, now that I'm getting old, my body is like, no, this is too much salt and fat for you. You can't handle this. Drunken salaryman trapped in the body of a twitchy hag. Yeah. To be fair, there's plenty of bad mothers at the local pachinko parlor, so it's not a male-only thing. You know, standard Japanese mother leaving her baby in the hot car so she can go gamble and play pachinko for 5 hours and then be like, ha, why is my baby dead? You know, that type of stuff. I hear that all the salarymen in the pachinko parlors are supposed to be like, they're supposed to be doing sales stuff, but there's no one keeping track of them, so they're just like wasting time. Pachinko was good money with real estate business in Yakuza 0. So the interesting about pachinko is that the country changed the laws governing how profitable you could make it. So as a result, pachinko parlors have had to reduce the winning rate of all of their machines. So only the most addicted degenerates go to pachinko anymore. It's become very unprofitable for customers, and as a result, it's become very unprofitable for the parlors as well. I can't remember specifically what the law was, whether it was like it restricted winnings or something else, but all I know is that a lot of pachinko parlors are going under right now. And if you ask people whether they play pachinko, a lot of people are like, I used to play pachinko, but it's not profitable anymore. I follow one god tier artist and fucker works on free version of Evis Paint. Third of the screen is ads. I don't know how people live without piracy. Well, I live in my mother's house. That's how I live. I was surprised at how loud pachinko parlors were in person. Yes. Only the people who can handle 10 gorillion decibels of industrial clanging noise for hour after hour after hour. Not only just handle, but enjoy the noise. I don't know, I guess it gets their brain juices going. As someone with Asperger's and is particularly sensitive to unwanted noise, it really like pisses me off, so I try and well, I don't try. I couldn't sit in a pachinko parlor even if I wanted to. That's the truth. Please don't uwu. Yes, this is a uwu, non-uwu stream here, guys. No uwuing allowed. Nothing says I'm a cute boy like when you start using the uwu emoji. Am I right, fellow uwers? That Oni aristocrat lacks muscular neck. I'm gonna go, she's more of a tiefling. This is more of a D&D adjacent. Although maybe there might be Onis in it. We're gonna get an orc soon. Jason Tatum confirmed torn Achilles. Oof. I fucking knew it. I think we all knew it deep down, including him. As soon as I saw the replay and it was like, oh, there's nobody within 5 feet of him. Non-contact injury. It was like, it's fucking donezo. The sad part about this is now Celtics fans will have an excuse for them losing when they were about to lose anyways, even before Jason Tatum fucking annihilated his Achilles. Never thought I'd feel bad for a Celtics player, but here we are. He knew. He was having one of his best games of all time, too. This is like, it's some great Games of Thrones shit where the announcer, like 10 minutes earlier, is saying shit like, Jason Tatum is unstoppable! I'm like, holy shit, he keeps on hitting his threes! And then, of course, you know, 20 minutes later, just fucking crumpled. Well, I said I would draw you a picture of New York Knicks if they won the series, and not to jinx it, but I think they are gonna win the series right now. Yesterday I was thinking, like, in professional sports, are we just coping? And is professional sports just a randomized contest of who gets to stay healthy? Because the fucking Celtics won last year because they basically had, they played, every single team they played was injured, right, last year. And now the opposite shit is happening to them. Same thing for the Warriors runs where we had, none of the Warriors players got injured and they kept on getting the other players injured, like Kawhi Leonard getting injured and shit like that, until they did get injured and then they lost. Maybe this shit is just all random and it's just injury luck. This is also happening at the same time that Dallas won the lottery. I will not hold you to that. You got a manga to make. I can draw it in like 30 seconds. If in a world where gods exist, they tell you to throat the fuck out of horned races, not LARP as Christian, be real. These horned women are asking for it. Ooh, stupid horned slut. Ooh. I personally do not like the Asanagi trope of how drafts, the Grand Blue Fantasy drafts, when you saw off their horns, they experience orgasms and then become mindless onaholes or whatever. I think it's kind of lame, to be honest. L take. I also stand by that I want draft to be taller. What about cube though? Cubes are okay. All women should be made into cubes. That's the hot take for this stream. Women are most attractive when they're a cube. Like those Japanese watermelons. Those things are super expensive, by the way. Let's actually check the price on the Japanese side of the internet. Shikakui Suika Nedan. They're between 10,000 to 15,000 yen. So like 120 bucks. Look at this Taimanin shaped bitch right here. They've even put it on a fucking Zabuton right here. Meant to be dominated and fit inside a refrigerator. Isn't the whole thing with Japan is that they don't have enough land to grow fruits in masses, so they went for obnoxious quality products? Maybe. I don't know, but Japanese fruit has like insanely high sugar content because they've bred it to be super sweet. It's basically desserts. In Japan, you eat fruit for dessert. And if you're an American, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm guessing that the original taste of fruit is somewhere in between what you get in America and what you get in Japan, because American fruit and vegetables are all bred to be like easily transportable by truck. So if you get low quality, non-heirloom, like grocery store tomatoes and stuff, they taste flavorless and watery because they're specific types of fruit and produce that is meant to just be like hard to damage and easily transportable instead of flavor based. My mom would kick me off the Zabuton for the watermelon. The watermelon deserves it more. Think how expensive it is. They also had a pyramid-shaped one, LOL. I mean, I'm sure they can use the technology to get it to grow into the shape that they want it to. These are courtesans. I'm not going to tell you the story. No, they're just local one-chan. I think the issue with flavorless tomatoes, especially in America, is that they're picked green. I mean, that might be part of it, but what I've been told is that they're a specific breed that was chosen because it's hard to get damaged during transportation and it keeps longer. So if you buy like heirloom tomatoes at your local farmer's market, they'll go bad pretty quickly and they're easy to get like squishy and stuff like that. Whereas your Subway local sandwich shop tomato is just like flavorless pink piece of shit. If you're in US, get your tomatoes at Costco. They got the greenhouse tomatoes that are quality as fuck. Everybody always talks about Costco in very positive terms. We have a relatively close Costco in my area, but neither me or my mother are a neighbor. Instead, she gets it at like the local farmers. And they have all these weird variable prices because some of the farmers don't give a fuck about making money, so you can get like these massive pieces of pork for just like $3 and shit because the pork farmer is like, yeah, it's fine, take it. What differentiates Costco from other big box stores? That is a good question, and I do not know. Don't ask me. My neighbor transformed the empty condo hot tub into a tomato garden, so we got that too. Who the fuck actually uses hot tubs? I feel like hot tubs are a cope thing that Americans do because they don't have the hot spring culture that Japan properly has. Think about how many awesome, sexy, memorable scenes we have in our onsen episodes of our anime. But do we have any memorable hot tub scenes? I think not. They got their cheeses, oils, and wines from country of origin. Fruit is all organic and everything is largely on sale or cheaper than at retail. Sounds good for me. My mother is hypersensitive to pesticides and stuff like that, so she basically buys everything organic. I often wonder if it's half of the things that are labeled as organic are actually not organic. But then, like, she buys strawberries and she was like, I bought non-organic strawberries and I couldn't eat them because they were making my tongue feel tingly because of the poison, and I was like, shit, well, I guess not. I don't know. Actually, we were handling ant, you know those ant poison packets where the ants walk into, like the roach motels for ants? I was handling one of them with my hand, just the outside plastic packaging, and both me and my mother were like, my fingertips are tingling from the poison, and I was like, oh shit, so I guess I have the same genetics as her. I'm not as sensitive, but I might become more sensitive as I get older, I think. I used to not be able to recognize when food had MSG in it, and my mother was always like, this has MSG in it. I'm like, it's not a big deal, who cares? But now I can also recognize pretty obviously when there's MSG in food. In the case of my mother, it actually makes her lips peel off, the MSG. I can still eat MSG without any real issues, but I can definitely tell that it's in there. I guess it's a good thing since you can tell what's poison. I mean, if it's not labeled organic, then it's covered in poison. That's just how it works. It's cheap for a reason. RFK is right about that thing, probably. We don't know if it's causing, like, cancer or some shit, but there's a high chance that it might be. I developed a latex allergy. I discovered this through kiwis, which is related to latex allergies, because no one told me your mouth isn't supposed to bleed when you eat kiwis. LMAO. Next thing they're going to say, you shouldn't be shitting blood when you eat Chipotle. Don't let those party poopers get in the way of your delicious kiwi food experience. Wait, so do kiwis have latex in them? How does that work? Some of us don't even need Chipotle for that. I had a period when I was putting a lot of spice in my chili and stuff. And my mother was like, I woke up in the middle of the night because my asshole hurt. Because of the cayenne coming out of her ass or something like that. And I was like, you fucking weakling. I just bleed out of my ass because of my hemorrhoids, not because I'm eating Chipotle. Me and you, we are different. You shit blood because you eat Chipotle. I shit blood because I have hemorrhoids. Too weak. It's latex fruit syndrome. Kiwis and latex share a similar protein. So that means you can't wear those bondage suits, right? Wait, is that latex? Latex bondage suit. Huh. Interesting how this guy has his cock out. Hardly seems like bondage when there's a helpful dick hole. Here's an image of me, by the way. For any of you wondering what I look like. This is the exact posture and clothing I wear when I'm drawing my manga. I just stare blankly at the screen with my my arms tied together and my my cock bondage suit. LMAO. That's also this is also a photo of my room, by the way. It's just like a completely unfurnished concrete room with like some paint on the walls. Ah! Ah! It looks like a LinkedIn photo. Yeah. Looking for programming jobs. You could always go with leather. I think I would be extremely uncomfortable in the latex bondage suit. Looking at those photos, it doesn't look very comfortable.
My fellow brothers, I, Willie Harrington, stand here today, humbled by the task before us. We must pull up our pants, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking Nito Nito Shoga.
You have to lube up your body before wearing latex. It's a pain. Oh, I can't fit! No! I can't get out! What if the lube doesn't properly maintain its slipperiness while you're inside the suit? Will you get stuck inside because it's like too fucking tight and you can't get out? How often do people get stuck inside their bondage suits and they can't get out? I assume it's more common than we know about. Are you ready for summer heat? No, I'm not. I'm gonna fucking hate it. It sucks. It's pretty late. I started late today because there was all this construction happening outside my window. And it was just making this horrible fucking noise. And I thought I actually couldn't stream today. But they ended like right around when I was like, okay, I have to give up streaming today. So you guys were lucky. I don't know if they still have to do construction tomorrow. They seem to have picked up everything and left. But there is a possibility that I'll be in this like construction noise loop for a few days, which will suck. I fucking hate summer. I like winter. Do you like what you see? I used to love summer until I realized that you can invade the cold with more layers, but you can't outrun the heat. Yeah, I don't understand all these old people who are like, it's too cold, there's nothing I can do. It's like, just wear more clothes, dumbass. Take me back to old Forsen. Who is this Forsen person you keep on talking about? Ah! Spring is the only good season. I like fall. In fact, I like winter as well because winter is no longer cold anymore. Winter is just comfortable temperatures now. Who is Forsen? For the blind, he is the vision. For the hungry, he is the chef. For the thirsty, he is the water. If Forsen thinks, I agree. If Forsen speaks, I'm listening. If Forsen has one fan, it is me. If Forsen has no fans, I don't exist. Kelk W. That's an old one that I've seen a lot. Or spring only lasts 1.5 months and then summer comes early. It sucks, man. The current temperature of, like, Tokyo is just, like, 40 degrees Celsius or some shit. Tokyo weather. Today's high in Tokyo is a fucking 81. With, of course, like, giga humidity and shit. This is supposed to be, like, the cool rainy season in Japan. Not even that. It hasn't even entered the rainy season. That's supposed to be June. We're all so legitimately fucked. Thanks to global warming. Shit is not looking good. Damn those Chinese bastards fucking with the climate, Keikona. I mean, it is largely a Chinese problem, although per person it's an American problem. China claims that they're making all these electric vehicles and stuff, but they still have like a shit ton of coal-fired powered plants and they keep on building more every single year. There's basically no way to solve climate change without the cooperation of both China and India, so... all the Republicans who are like, what's the point? There is something to be said about that. They're not 100% incorrect. So fucking deep. With China, it's the sheer mass of people. For America, it's wastefulness. As an American, I must have 2 SUVs and leave my lights on all day long. It's the only way. There's still a bit of ozone layer missing over Australia. Hurry, we must destroy the ozone layer. There can't be any ozone remaining. Get rid of it quick. Honestly, with the way that capitalism works, it would be more realistic to send out a large sunlight blocking solar shield to the middle of like the space in between the sun and the earth than it is for people to actually change their consumption habits. Remember in the early points of global warming, they're like, we all need to cooperate. This has to be a community effort. Everybody has to participate in this. And I haven't heard anybody say that in a while because everyone knows it's a fucking lost cause. You can't even convince people to turn off their fucking car engine while they're idling in their driveway. So there's basically zero chance that you can get people to change their behavior in any way that is actually going to change their quality of life, you know? You can't even stop people from doing something that is both bad in terms of you're wasting gasoline and it's bad for your car and it doesn't really achieve anything, and yet people still sit in their driveway fucking idling their car. People just don't turn off their car engines. It's pretty crazy. Do you like what you see? Gillette!
Stick your finger in my ass. That turns me on.
Gillette! Kinda hard to give a shit about helping out when Blue Origin fucks our environment for an hour-long bourgeoisie circle jerk. That's the most recent space expedition shit, right? American Space Technology Company headquartered in Kent, Washington. The number one the first thing I get when I Google Blue Origin is The Guardian article that says the Blue Origin flight showcased the utter defeat of American feminism. Keck W. Look at these empowered women, guys. Really pushing your gender forward by getting in an extremely expensive space flight, I guess. The flights, this is according to the opinion piece, the flight served as a kind of perverse funeral for the America that once enabled both scientific advancement and feminist progress. A spectacle that mocked these aspirations by appropriating them for such an indulgent and morally hollow purpose. LMAO. Blue Origin itself is a project of state abandonment of space exploration. True. Hey, if the ultra-rich want to finance space exploration because they have literally too much money because they never have to pay taxes, then good for them, I guess. Because I'd rather them do it with their wasted money that should be going to my social programs than me being forced to pay more for NASA. I think that's Bezos' wife, LOL. The rich women got butthurt because people weren't happy for them going to space. How long in space was this? Let's see. Blue Origin space flight length. It's 10 to 11 minutes, guys. You go up into space for 10 minutes and you're like, oh my god! This is such a life-changing experience! Oh, I'm so fucking rich! Oh! I truly appreciate space now, guys! Oh! You come in your pants and then you come back down and you do a photo op. It's a Disney ride. There's a lot of things that are Disney rides now. I sort of feel the same way about people who spend like $60,000 to climb Mount Everest, or more like pay $60,000 to get a bunch of Nepalese Sherpas carry all their fucking oxygen tanks to the base camp of Mount Everest, and then be like, I did it, guys! I'm the 10 millionth person who climbed Mount Everest. Such an amazing accomplishment. You're like, yay, good for you. At least in that case, you're stimulating the Nepalese economy because they have, like, no industry. Instead of, like, sucking Bezos's bald head. Rich people going to space are completely disconnected from the rest of humanity. Who could have guessed? God, I hope there is a future in which Elon Musk actually tries to go to Mars and just dies there. That would be so funny. The only thing funnier would be if he succeeded in creating like a Hyperloop prototype and then died inside the Hyperloop. I doubt they even went to space. They probably just posed for photos and said some inspiring things. I mean, I would respect them more if they just straight up faked it than if they actually wasted that money to go to space. At least if you fake it, you're admitting that you don't give a fuck about that shit. It's honestly more embarrassing to be like, I did it, guys. I was sitting in the passenger seat of this multi-million-dollar rich person experience, and I grew so much as a human being. All that shit is honestly more cringe than if you were just like were faking the moon landing.
The lash of the spanking is the friend of really no that common purpose. To seek only the fleshly pleasures. We are in the midst of this day expression the scale of our great ask. Let us remember these timeless words. Sang that ask.
Also, the whole concept of space exploration really doesn't require people in the first place. That's the biggest thing that we're cucking ourselves about. The distances are too far to actually send any people anywhere. I think people really underestimate how insanely large space is. Because it's too fucking terrifying, our brains can't even comprehend it. Which is why you have dumbasses like Elon being like, we'll be colonizing Mars by 2016, guys.
George the lash. Spank that great ass. Spank that great ass. George the lash.
In space, no one can hear you nut, but they can see you nut if you have the video camera on.
Spank that great ass. George the lash. Spank that great ass.
And the nut, the semen ejaculation is floating around on screen.
Spank that great ass. George the lash. Spank that great ass. Spank that great ass. George the lash. The lash of the spanking is the friend of really no that common purpose. To seek only the fleshly pleasures. We are in the midst of this day expression the scale of our great ass. Let us remember these timeless words. Spank that ass.
What if you not hope so hard the universe collapses in on itself? Then the universe will be reborn in a different format, like JoJo. I saw this in JoJo. That's a JoJo reference. I know how this shit works. I bet the airlock on a spaceship sucking your dick into space would feel good before you know you start to die and stuff. What if you just stuck your penis outside of the airlock? Would that work? What if I open the airlock just a little bit and stick my penis outside that part? Wouldn't that allow me to reach climax by having the airlock suck my dick, or the vacuum of space suck my dick? We should try this. Elon, fund this. This seems like important scientific research. We just need a proper airlock, like fleshlight shaped airlock to stick your penis into. I don't think there would be much time for pleasure. I don't know, just need to come fast enough. There's these guys that get caught because they just walk up to women and then have their hand in the pants and then just ejaculate immediately and then throw their cum at women and then like walk away before the people can't even notice what happened. So if you have that kind of super speed, I think it's possible. Anyways, I'm tired of this defeatist attitude from you people. Just being like, no, no, that's a bad idea. You can't come by sticking your penis outside of an airlock in space. It's that kind of attitude that prevented people from discovering new continents. But Christopher Columbus was like, no, I can do it. I can come in time before I die. You guys just aren't visionaries like they are.
I'm gonna spank your little ass. My fellow brothers, I, Billy Harrington, say to you that the challenge is real. Starting today, we must pull up our pants, dust ourselves off, but also endure the lash of the spanking time and time again. And so, to all the people who are watching this video, from the grandest cities to the small villages, know that Fawcett is a friend of every man who seeks a future of love and peace. What the hell are you two doing? All you, get your ass down here now! Someone or something got you excited, son? Get to the quarterdeck now!
God, I'm feeling really motivated to work out when I hear Billy tell me to get my ass down here.
Their memories are short, but they have forgotten what free men can achieve when imagination is joined to common purpose. Let it be said by our children's children that when we were tested by DOS attacks and refused by YouTube, we did not turn back, and we were carried forth, that the great gift of freedom be delivered and safely to future generations. Let us remember these timeless words as we can. But also, Fawcett would struggle and sacrifice so that we might live better. What the hell are you two doing?
Have you tried the new Doom? It's really good. I was looking into it because I thought that it would finally be a situation in which I was punished for having a PlayStation instead of like an Xbox or high-end PC because, you know, Bethesda was bought out by Microsoft, but Microsoft has so completely abandoned winning the console war that it doesn't really matter, I guess. I don't know. It's not a game I'm going to buy at full price, though. I think I bought Doom Eternal plus the expansions for like $25, $30, so that's about what I'm willing to pay for a shooter, because it's going to be over pretty quickly, right? So, and I'm not going to be replaying it many times. Also, I'm busy drawing right now, you know. The pictures we draw were the real video games all along. I actually haven't played a video game in, I don't know, a week now, I think.
Ow, ouch. Oh, that hurts. It's so fucking deep.
I'm actually developing more and more of a ability to draw for longer and longer periods per day. You really do get more used to it. When I started drawing, like, quote-unquote full-time, like, I couldn't draw more than, like, 4 or 5 hours a day without being like, I fucking hate drawing. But now I can go, like, 9 hours of drawing per day and I'm fine. So I guess it really is something that you can train yourself to get better at. I wasn't joking when I said I wanted to go pro, which means that if I actually do want to do that, I have to be prepared to basically be drawing every single waking hour of the day, so being able to draw for more than like 60 hours a week is like a minimum requirement for that, right? Now I have to start getting, improving my speed and just drawing faster as well. But the endurance and long term, being able to draw for long periods of time without getting exhausted is sort of an entry requirement, I would say. GoPro then abandoned us for a crippling gacha addiction. I won't abandon you for a gacha addiction, I'll just abandon you because I'm forced to draw 24 hours a day and I don't have time to be paying attention to my Patreon subs. I mean, we're not even talking about like actually going pro, we're talking about developing the skills to go pro. But there's so many like other layers. Of being able to actually survive as a professional mangaka before the whole like I can actually draw. Like I've been working on this page for 10 hours probably easily. And obviously you can cut some of that time with assistance and shit, but you still have to ink your own characters and stuff. Get down on your knees. Gacha addiction sounds like the lamest thing to ruin your life. I think people don't ruin their life, they just ruin their bank accounts. Do you do any warm-up drawing before working on a project? Not really. Because even if I fuck up, it doesn't matter as much because it's in digital, so I can just erase it and then, like, retry. I might do more warm-up drawings if I was working in analog, and it actually mattered if I fucked up on, you know, in pen and ink. But in digital, there's unlimited amounts of fuck-ups are allowed at any point, so... I also don't do rough drafts anymore because I know I'm going to end up redrawing a lot of the stuff even after I do the line work. So I just draw it immediately and then fix what I messed up. Again, this is all stuff you can do when you're working in digital, when you can just erase shit or press Ctrl-Z and stuff like that.
As we can.
Because, like, I think my draft will look good, and then when I actually put the line work in, like, it doesn't look as right. So I ultimately just have to do the line work without a rough draft in the first place. Like, I can't tell what's wrong with my rough draft until I actually start putting in the concrete lines and stuff. So there's really no point. Like, I have the storyboard, so the storyboarding alone is enough, like, rough draft for me to actually draw on top of it. I don't really feel like I need to do any more. deep, dark fantasies. Do you feel like age has affected your progress in your path of going pro? I mean, I'm just not good enough. See, most of the people who go pro already going pro in their 20s. Although there's some exceptions, so I'm definitely way behind. But I'm not gonna, you know, worry too much about it because it's like, who gives a fuck? I don't have to do the same thing as other people, right? So. Force and Boys.
Probably both. You know, I think the mainstream is the Force and Boys nowadays. You know.
Well, you've been playing a lot lately. You've been playing some Black Rock Mountain. What are your thoughts on the new cards and stuff?
Moral of the story: don't get an editor. There is a question of like how helpful editors are in this digital age, where you can essentially publish shit without the publishing company. Essentially, the job of the editor was more... Their main job was because they got to gatekeep what got printed and what didn't get printed. But now when you get to decide what you want to release, it's questionable how much work editors actually do. I think we do see a lot of important work that editors are doing in weekly manga publishing and stuff like that, because sometimes you'll see like an author like Kishimoto who apparently had a super good editor, and then after Naruto he has does Samurai 8 and it fucking flops super hard in a way that should have been obvious even before it started what the problems with the manga were. And that's probably an editor issue right there.
Probably both. You know, I think the mainstream is the Force and Boys nowadays. You know.
Well, you've been playing a lot lately. You've been playing some Black Rock Mountain. What are your thoughts on the new cards and stuff?
That's what happens when Kishimoto can't copy Togashi for 3 seconds. I don't think Kishimoto copies Togashi that much. Isn't the most obvious copier of Kishimoto Gege? I've had people post, not people for me, but I've seen internet posting of people just like taking panels of Jujutsu Kaisen and being like, let's compare this directly to this panel from Hunter x Hunter, and it's like, yeah, I guess he was copying Hunter x Hunter or whatever, not that I really give a fuck. It's hard to tell whether it's supposed to be like a straight up copying or if he's just like showing respect to the other author, you know. Take it, boy. How much detail is too much detail? I can't tell. Alright, I'm going to end the stream here. See you around, guys. Have a nice night. Ah! Shit is coming along. My inking speed is going up. I know it might not seem that way, but... the quality is going up. The speed is going up. The amount of hours I draw is going up. I'm going to make it. See you around, guys. Good night.